Greetings, welcome to the course of Electromagnetics, Unit 2, Lecture number 26. In previous lectures, we obtained the boundary conditions between two different mediums. Mediums may be dielectric to dielectric or dielectric to the conductor or conductor to the free space. We obtained the conditions at the boundary on which we have solved few numericals. So, let us solve few more numericals on boundary conditions. Here is one example. The boundary exists at z equal to 0. Okay, so the boundary exists at z equal to 0. Let us draw the line. This is a line of z equal to 0, means this is the portion where z is greater than 0. Okay, this is a portion where z is greater than 0 and this is where z is less than 0. Okay. So, the boundary exists at z equal to 0 between two dielectrics. Okay, both the mediums are dielectric mediums only and whose relative permittivity is given as 2.5 in the region where z is less than 0, where the medium of z less than 0. So, this is a medium of z less than 0 and this is one dielectric and whose relative permittivity is given as, so for this one the relative permittivity is given as a 2.5. Okay, since the relative permittivity is a constant value, so there won't be any unit for relative permittivity. So the epsilon r1 means relative permittivity of the medium 1, which is given as z less than 0. Okay, they have stated z less than 1 is a medium 1 and z greater than 0 is a medium 2. And for the medium 2, what the relative permittivity is? The relative permittivity is given as 4. Okay. So, relative permittivity is 4 for the reason z greater than 0. For z greater than 0, as the suffix shows the 2 epsilon r2. So, we can assume that this is a second medium, this is a first medium. The field in the region of epsilon r1 is, okay. So, the field in the region of epsilon r1 means to say that in the first medium or in the first field, so electric field is given by E1, which is given by minus 30 AX plus 50 AY plus 70 AZ volt per meter. And what we are supposed to find out, there are so many things are there on this numerical to find. So this is the first one. The first one is normal component of E1. The E1 is given and we know that the E1 is a sum of both tangential and normal component. In the first part, we wanted to find out the normal component of E1. Then second thing, tangential component of E1. Okay. Out of E1 is given, out of which what is the tangential component and what are the normal components. This is in the first two bits of a question. And third one is angle alpha 1 between E1 and normal to the surface. Okay. So, the alpha 1 is the angle between, we have to notice that whether the alpha 1 is the angle between the electric field to the normal to the surface or to the interface. Okay. This is a boundary line. Okay. In the previous numerical we have seen they may ask to find the angle between. Okay. So, the angle between with respect to, for example, this is electric field E1, okay. So, they may ask to find the angle with respect to the interface or to the boundary line, okay. Or sometimes they will ask that find the angle between the normal component, this is normal to the surface, normal to the electric field, if this is E2, okay, let this alpha 1 or alpha 2, whatever it is, right, okay. So, they may be asking the two types of angles. The angle may be made with respect to interface or the angle with respect to the normal to the z plane or normal to the boundary. Now, what is the angle here? The alpha 1 is the angle between E1 and to the normal. Okay, so the alpha 1 is the angle. Where is the E1? E1 in the medium 1. Okay, so let this is a E1. Let this is a E1. So what the angle alpha 1 is? The alpha 1 is the angle made with respect to normal to the surface. This is a line normal to the surface. This is a line normal to the surface. This is given by alpha 1. Okay. In the third part of a question, we are supposed to find the alpha 1. The alpha 1 is angle between E1 to the normal to the surface. Okay. In fourth part, find the normal component of E2. Okay. So, sorry, D2. So if you want to find the normal component of D2, first of all we have to obtain from E1, we have to obtain E2. So E2 can be resolved into the tangential and normal component, from which we can obtain the value of D2. Okay. So the normal component of D2 means flux density or tangential component of D2. In the same way, find the angle in the sixth bit. It is asked that find the angle alpha 2 between E2 and normal to the surface. Okay. So what is the alpha 2? We are supposed to find in the sixth part of a question. So which is nothing but alpha 2 is nothing but the angle between E2 with normal to the surface. So this is a line of normal and let this is E2. Okay. Now here is an angle alpha 2. Okay. So there are so many things we are supposed to find in this question. So normal component of E1, E2, normal and tangential component of E1 and alpha 1 and normal and tangential components of D2, and we have to find out alpha 2. Okay. Let us solve one by one. First what we do, let us resolve whatever the E1 is given. No, let us resolve it into the tangential and normal components. Okay. So the E1 is given as minus 30 AX plus 50 AY plus 70 AZ. Okay. So it is having the components along X, Y and Z. Now which one is a normal component? Now they have mentioned in the numerical itself, the boundary exists between at Z equal to 0, means this is a normal line. This is normal line means this is a Z axis. Okay. So whatever the Z component is there, means whatever the component with the unit vector of AZ means Z component is there, that will be the normal component in the given E1. Okay. So now we have identified that this is a normal component in E1. So this is EN1. In E1 this is a normal component, so we wrote as a EN1. So what is the normal component is 70 AZ. Okay. So and we know that the electric field E1 or E2 is a sum of both tangential and normal components, right? So sum of tangential and normal components. So we have noticed that this is a normal component. What will be the rest of 2? The rest of 2 will be a tangential component, because it should be resolved into normal and tangential component. If this is a normal component and left out portion will be a tangential component. Okay. So this is the first part is normal component of E1, right? This is the normal component of E1. In the second part of a question, what they are asked, what is the tangential component of E1? Okay. So the tangential component of E1 can be obtained as subtracting En1 normal component from En. Okay. So in the whole component, if you subtract this much, okay, in the whole E1, if you subtract this much, whatever left will be there, that will be the tangential component. So the tangential component E tan 1 is, so in the whole we are going to subtract the En1. What is the En1 is normal component. What is the normal component is Z component. Okay. Let us subtract the Z components and rest 2 will be of tangential components, which is minus 30 AX plus 50 AY. Yes. So we did both these parts, means normal and tangential components of E1. So let us go for the third bit of the question given. So what it is? Angle alpha 1. Okay. Let us solve the third bit of a question. This is the first one. This is second. And third one is angle alpha 1. Okay. Alpha 1. So what is the angle alpha 1 is? Alpha 1 is an angle between E1 and normal component. Okay. So to find the angle alpha 1, you can use any of a trigonometric function. You may use a sine, or you may use a cos, or you may use a tan. For example, if you use a tan, if you apply the tan, okay, so this is an opposite side. So what will be this component will be? This is parallel to the boundary line, means it is a tangential component, E tan 1, okay. Since this line is parallel to the boundary line, so this will be a tangential component of E1, and this is a normal line, as you know. So this is En1, okay. This is a tangential component, this is a normal component, okay. So if we apply the trigonometric function of tan alpha 1, okay. So what is the tan alpha 1 will be? Opposite side by adjacent side, and this is an hypotenuse is E1, okay. So what is the opposite side? Opposite side is E tan 1. What is the adjacent side? Adjacent side will be En1, okay. Both are in the magnitude form, magnitude of E tan 1 with magnitude of En1. And just now in the previous part of this question, we have obtained the what is En1 and what is E tan 1, okay. Just we have to consider the magnitudes of tan and magnitudes of tangential and normal. For this one, if the magnitude of this is nothing but under the root of the minus 30ax and 50ay, right. This is the magnitude of this is minus 30 square and 50 square by magnitude of this one, normal component. So magnitude of normal component is square, okay. So this is tan alpha 1 is given by, if you simplify this one, okay, this may be 900 plus 2500, if you simplify this, and you will be getting this value as 0.8329, okay. What we need? We want only alpha 1. So the alpha 1 is given by, take this tan into this side. This is a tan inverse of, there are two tans, okay. This is a tangential component and this is a trigonometric function of tan, okay. Don't confuse. So if you want, you can apply the sine also. If you apply the sine, what do you do? Sine alpha 1 is given by, okay, sine alpha 1 is given by opposite side, okay. So what is the opposite side? E tan 1 by hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? Is E1, okay. Both are in magnitude form. You can apply the sine also. Tan inverse of 0.8329. So the alpha 1 is given by 39.794 degrees, okay. This is the third part of a question. What is the third part of a question? Is it is an angle between E1 to the normal to the surface, which is alpha 1, and it is given as 39.79 degrees, okay. So the first 3 bits of a questions are completed, okay. 3 bits, the first one, second one and the third one, okay. Let us solve the remaining 3, this normal component of D2, tangential component of D2 and angle alpha 2, okay. So if we want to go with the 4th, 5th and 6th bits, so we have to find out D2, okay. So finding the D2 normal or tangential components, first we must have the value of E2, okay. So let us find the E2. What is E2? Electric field in second medium 2, electric field in medium 2. There are two medium as we discussed in the starting of the question, the medium 1 and medium 2. Z less than 0 is treated as a medium 1 and whose permittivity is given, and Z greater than 0 is treated as a medium 2 and whose relative permittivity is also given, okay. Now before going to get the normal component of or tangential component of D2, first let us obtain E2, okay. Let us get the value of E2, okay. Again the E2 can be resolved into or sum of its tangential and normal components. So E2 is a sum of its tangential and normal components, okay. Now here we are going to use the boundary conditions. In the boundary conditions between two dielectric medium, we have obtained the relationship between the tangential components of both the medium or the normal components of the both the mediums, okay. Since both the mediums are dielectric, so what is the relationship between the tangential components of both the mediums? Tangential component in first medium, which is same as tangential component in second medium. Okay, so here we need the tangential component in second medium. So tangential component in second medium, which is nothing but tangential component in the first medium. What is the tangential component in the first medium? We obtained in the second part of a question. Okay, so the tangential component in the first medium is given by minus 30 ax plus 50 ay. Okay, this is a tangential component in second medium, which is same as tangential component in the first medium. Yes, we got this one. Okay, let us find this En2. Okay, to find this one, again we are going to use the boundary conditions. At the boundary, how the normal components of medium 1 and medium 2 are related. At the boundary line, how the normal components of medium 1 and medium 2 are related. Okay, so the normal components of first medium to the normal component of second medium is related in terms of its relative permittivities or permittivity, or we can write in general this epsilon 2 can be written as epsilon naught into epsilon r2, the epsilon 1 can be written as epsilon naught into epsilon r1. So these two get cancelled. So what is normal component at the boundary? So which is given by normal component in the second medium, not at the boundary, in the second medium. So I will take this value this side, I will take this one. So En1, okay, so taking this fraction this side, so it is epsilon r1 by epsilon r2. Okay, what we are doing? We are trying to obtain the value of field equation, electric field equation in medium 2. So normal component, normal electric field component in second medium is given by En1. So what is En1? It is 70 Az into epsilon r1 by r2. R1 is 2.5 and epsilon r2 is 4, and just simplify this one, you will be getting En2 as 43.75 Az. Okay, so we have got the tangential component and we have got the normal component. Now let us write the equation for E2. Equation for E2, it is the sum of its tangential and normal components. So E2 is given by, the tangential component is this one, minus 30 ax plus 50 ay, and normal component is 43.75 az. Okay, so but what is our question is, we are supposed to find the normal component in D2, and we have a relationship between D and E, means electric field and electric flux density, and D2 is given by epsilon 2 into E2. Okay, so the D2 is given by electric flux density in a second medium is given by epsilon 2 is nothing but epsilon naught, permittivity of a free space, relative permittivity of a second medium, and E2, what is your E2? This minus 30 ax plus 50 ay plus 43.75 az. Okay, so substitute epsilon naught as 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. Okay, and epsilon r2 relative permittivity is 4. Okay, 4. Now substitute epsilon naught and epsilon r2 value and multiply with E2, then you will be getting D2 as minus 0.6, here it is a minus, no? Okay, 0.6 ax plus 1.77 ay plus 1.54 az nanocoulomb per meter square, 10 power minus 9, because here we are going to multiply with epsilon naught whose value with 10 raised to minus 12. Okay, so writing the value of epsilon naught and epsilon r2 and multiply with this E2 and simplifying, you will be getting D2 as 1.06 AX and this value, okay, nanocoulomb per meter square. So what is the unit for electric flux density? What is electric flux density is total charge by total surface area, okay, total flux passing through the closed surface, that is nothing but total charge in terms of coulomb, total surface area in terms of meter square. So the unit is coulomb per meter square. Now it is nanocoulomb per meter square, okay. Now we just obtained D2, but we are supposed to resolve the components of D2 into normal and tangential components, and we have to obtain individually. Means let us obtain the value of normal component of D2. Okay, now we are moving on to the fourth bit of the question. What is our fourth bit? Normal component. So normal component of D2, as D is given into sum of the magnitudes along X, Y and Z, okay, and we know that the normal component is our Z, I mean the component along Z axis will be our normal component. So out of three components of D2, we have selected the component which is placed along the Z axis as a normal component. So our normal component will be 1.54 AZ, okay. So this is our fourth bit, and what is our fifth bit is tangential component, okay. So in the fifth bit, so we need to find the tangential component in D2, and D2 is a sum of the tangential and normal components, right. So out of tangential and normal components, so this will be the normal component. What will be the remaining two terms? Will be a tangential, or I can write as D2 minus dN2, means out of whole D2, remove the component of dN2 normal component, left over will be our tangential components. So our tangential component is minus 1.06 AX plus 1.77 EY, okay. This is our tangential component of D2, okay. So this is about the fifth bit of the question, and let us go with the sixth bit, last part of a question. So where it is, find the alpha 2, okay, which is lies in between E2, okay, this is E2 with normal to the surface, this is a normal to the surface, okay, alpha 2. Again you can find the alpha 2 by using any of your trigonometric function, maybe a sine theta, cos theta or tan, any trigonometric function. So in a previous case, while we are calculating the value of alpha 1, we have used a tan function. Again let us use a tan function only. So to apply the tan function for this one, this is our normal component, sorry, this is our tangential, because both are parallel, boundary line and this is parallel to each other, so it will be a tangential component, and this is as it is normal only, so I can write this as En2, okay. So if you apply the tan function, so this is opposite side by adjacent side, okay. So tan alpha 2 is opposite side is a E tan 2 and adjacent side will be En2, okay. So this tan alpha 2 is given by magnitude of E tan 2 by magnitude of En2, okay. So and we have either it is a tan means electric field, or also you can take it, because if you have a if you have the values of d tan 2 and d normal dN2, then it is also equal to d tan 2 by magnitude of dN2, okay. You can use this also, okay. So flux density tangential component in second medium to the first medium, okay. So tan alpha 2 magnitude of d tan 2, okay, magnitude of this is nothing but under the root of minus 1.06 whole square plus 1.77 whole square by dN2, magnitude of dN2. So what is this? Magnitude of 1.54 whole square, okay. After simplifying, you will be getting tan alpha 2 as, after simplifying this, you will be getting 1.33, and we are supposed to find alpha 2. So this, take this tan, trigonometric tan this side, tan inverse of 1.33. So alpha 2 is 53.116 degrees. So this is an angle between the D2 or E2 with respect to its normal to the boundary. Okay, this is about the one of the numerical on boundary conditions. We will solve the few more numericals on boundary conditions in the next class. Thank you.